Hi everyone, this is week 6, day 3 of our second grade math DCPS learning packet. I have enjoyed working with you this week. Tomorrow, Mr. Bernal is going to take over and he'll be working with you on days 4 and 5. So let's get started with today, day 3. Today, you are going to be doing a daily warm-up. And in your daily warm-up, let's look at the directions. What number does the base 10 blocks represent? Write an equation to show your total. I'm going to let you work on this one on your own first. So please press pause. Okay, so first we had to look at our base 10 blocks. Here we see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 base 10 blocks. So that means we have 50. Next we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 ones blocks. So that's how we got the number 59. When we look at the number 59, we have 5 tens and 9 ones. If I wanted to write that as an expanded form, I would write it as 50 plus 9 equals 59, because 5 tens is the same thing as 50 and 9 ones is 9. Great job. Let's move on to our next page. In our new learning, we're going to learn about how to identify and count coins. Okay, welcome back everyone. Today we're going to be counting money. We're going to look at the different coins that we have. And we're going to use a strategy called the antenna strategy. Let's get started. This is a quarter. A quarter is worth 25 cents. Next, we have a dime. A dime is worth 10 cents. The next amount of money we're looking at is a nickel. A nickel is worth 5 cents. And last but not least is our penny. A penny is worth 1 cent. Today, we're going to use what we call the antenna strategy to help us to count coins quickly. An antenna is something that sticks out of the head of an animal. You might have seen it on a bug or butterfly, even a bee. We're going to use that method to help us to count quarters, nickels, dimes, because they're based off of the number 5. Watch how I do it. For a quarter, if I wanted to use the antenna method, watch how I would draw it. Each line represents 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. This is how the antenna method looks when I'm counting a quarter. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Each line represents 5. Let's go to a dime. A dime is worth 10 cents. Let's see how many antennas I would use there. 5, 10. So I have 2 antennas. Now let's go to a nickel. 1. I only need 1 because I'm counting by 5. And a penny is worth 1 cent. So since a penny is worth 1 cent, I don't need any antennas because I'm not counting by 5s. I'm counting by 1s when I'm working with pennies. So let's look at an example and see how we would use the antenna method. Okay, we're going to use the antenna method for this problem down at the bottom. We have 1 quarter here, 1 quarter here. We have 2 quarters. They're 25 cents each. We have 1 nickel. That's 5 cents. And 1 penny. That's 1 cent. Let's see how I would use this method. So remember, each line is equal to 5. So I would draw 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Go to my next quarter. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. My nickel, 5. Just needs 1 because it's only 5 cents. And then I have my penny. It doesn't get any because you don't count by 5s or pennies. You count by 1s. Now I'm going to go back and count each antenna to see how much all of this is worth. Watch me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Now, I have to change to 1. So this goes from 55 to 56. I have 56 cents. Now, because I have 56 cents, I have to use a cent sign to represent it. Or I could write it using a dollar sign, but I would have to write it like this. Dollar sign would go first, which is an S with a line through it. I have $0. The dot represents that I'm going to separate my dollars from my cents or my change. So, for my cents, dollars I have 0. I have my decimal point, and then I have 56. All right, let's see if we can try one together. Let's look at the next problem. Okay, let's look at problem A in our packet. I have a dime, which is worth 10 cents, a nickel, which is worth 5 cents, another nickel, 5 cents, and another nickel, which would be 5 cents. So I have 1 dime and 3 nickels. Remember, we're going to use the antenna method to help us to count this up quickly. So if I have a dime, let's see, how many antennas do I need? Remember, each line I count by 5. 5, 10. This is a nickel, 5. This is another nickel, 5. This is another nickel, 5. Now I'm going to count the antennas together. Ready? Here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I have 25 cents. So I'm going to write 25 cents. When I write the cent sign, I have a C with a line going through it. I can also write 25 cents using a dollar sign. Watch me. Dollar sign would come first, which is an S with a line going through it. I have $0, so I put a 0 there. Decimal point, so now I can put my cents, 25. All right, guys. I want you to try it on your worksheet. Good job. On this next page that you're on, they're using a chart and they're telling you how many quarters you have, dimes, nickels, and pennies. You have to find out what the amount is. So, in doing that, let's look at the example that they have given us. The first example says that you have 2 quarters, 2 dimes, 1 nickel, and 2 pennies. And the example states that with 2 quarters, which equals 50 cents, 2 dimes, which equal 20 cents, 50 plus 20 is 70 cents, 1 nickel, which is 5 cents, 70 plus 5 is 75 cents, and 2 pennies are 2 cents. When I add 2 pennies to my 75 cents, I get 77 cents. Now let's use that antenna method for us to figure out the next example. So let's look at the next example. Now look in your work packet. Find problem B. Find problem B. In problem B, it states that I have 1 quarter, 0 dimes, 5 nickels and 9 pennies. It had 9 pennies. I think it just has pennies, and then you have 9 of those, 9 pennies. So what we're going to do, we're going to draw this out, use our antenna strategy to help us count. If I have 1 quarter, I would draw a quarter, and I know a quarter is worth 25 cents. Next, I'm going to draw my next one. Dimes, I don't have any, so I skip on over to nickels. I have 5 nickels. I know a nickel is worth 5 cents. So I'm going to draw 5 nickels. Here's the first nickel, second nickel, third nickel, fourth nickel, fifth nickel. It tells me I have 9 pennies. So I know pennies are worth 1 cent. So I would draw 1 penny, 2 pennies, 3 pennies, 4 pennies, 5 pennies, 6 pennies, 7 pennies, 8 pennies, 9 pennies. Well, let's see how much I have here. What's the amount of money? Well, I am using the antenna strategy, so here I go. A quarter. Remember, each antenna is worth 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Here are my nickels. 5. Another nickel. 5. Another nickel. 5. Another nickel. 5. Another nickel. 5. And I know pennies, they don't get an antenna because I'm only counting by ones there. So now let's count it all together using our antennas. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Now I have to count by ones. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. I have 59 cents. Now, I want you to try the next 2 problems on your own. Wow, wasn't that interesting, learning about money and learning a new way of counting using the antenna strategy? Well, I want you to count up these coins that you see here on your problem set. All right, I need you to do this on your own. Okay, everyone, have a great day. Bye.